to the model runway, which we're building. The other day, we went through the some engines, didn't we? Some engines that we got, and then whilst you weren't here, I went through some coaches. Have a look, see what I've got. I've got a drawer full of them. Okay, a big drawer of ones which I've collected during lifetime, I suppose, really. I think I must have been awfully drunk when I bought some of them. Probably 6 for 50p. But others I'm quite proud of. And I quite like, and we're going to put them on the layout. Okay. But some of the ones which aren't so good, I thought we could have a go and do something with them. Okay. It's a wide and varied selection of coaches which I have. Okay. There's rather nice. This is an Airfix coach, which is rather nice. Auto coach, that's the word. I was looking for that the other week, wasn't I? Auto coach, it's an auto coach. And a fair few years old, that. Airfix, they stopped producing ages ago, didn't they? And it is Airfix products, made in Hong Kong, and with a little bit of weathering. That looked very nice. I like that. And then we did buy a couple of very expensive Bachmann Great Western region coaches, which are still in their boxes. We haven't got out yet. But along the way, we've sort of bought things like this one here, that one there, which is a corridor, first and third class, even I can't remember third class, and that's a main line, okay. Now I can remember where I got these from. That was from the Midland Railway Centre, second hand, and the guy who had it before, he's put his initials on, KW, I don't know who he is, but thank you KW. He's put a nice weight in them as well to keep them, you know, sort of on the track. That's a nice coach, that. And I think that was probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 quid. That'll do me. Anything like that, that'll do me. What won't do me, I've got about half a dozen of them, are these things. Alright, can you see that? That is, it's pretty manky, that. That's not something which I'd be proud of having on the running around the railway. It's a Triang. Don't know how many years old it is. This is a brake van. Yeah, brake van. I got a couple of these, so I can use one. The other one I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. But what I'm going to do, and I'm going to run through it with you. Might be in 2 bits because I do tend to waffle, don't I? Is to make it into one of these. Okay. You see a couple of wires out the bottom there. It's not meant to be rolling along. It's a camping coach, as you can probably read somewhere along there. Right. Camping coach. Okay. Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through how I made that. What I did, it's got a light in it, how I did it, and well, you can see the reason why I did it. I think that the other ones aren't really worth putting on the track. I'm old enough to remember camping coaches, 1950s heyday, probably 50s, 60s. We used to go down to Plymouth every year for our holiday. Stay with my grandma, lived in Plymouth, 5 minutes from the seafront, so very nice. Stayed down there for the whole of the summer and the whole of the Easter kids' holidays. And we didn't have a car, so we caught the steam train from Wendover, which is where we live, in Buckinghamshire, up to Marylebone. And then across London, Paddington, and we always used to catch the Cornish Riviera Express. It was something that Mother liked, and it was something that we loved, my younger brother and I. Yeah, we liked that. It's nice steam engines, of course, and part way down, I think once you start getting down near Newton Abbot, I think it was Newton Abbot, they used to shove another one on, so we had 2 steam engines. Castles, I think they were castles, to take us through to Plymouth. And then we used to go to my nan's. And if we wanted to go anywhere, train or coach. There was some coaches that we used to go on, boat trips. But they had a Holiday Express, what they call the Holiday Express, which was a train designated for 1 week. You booked into it. It was the same people, same train, same driver, same seating arrangement for a whole week. And you and your family, whoever was going with you, got down to the railway station 9 o'clock in the morning for the week, every day of the week, and the train took you off to a different destination each day. Steam train, of course. And we used to rush about getting the autographs of all the engine drivers and everything else. Lovely times. Nostalgia is probably what drives a lot of model railway enthusiasts to build layouts of the era to which they can remember the best. And it's the informative years, isn't it? For me, 50s, 60s. For others, obviously it's the diesel-y smell, horrible diesel-y stuff. If they want to remember that, that's fine. But for me, early diesels, maybe, but not these modern things. I've actually bought a modern thing. I don't know. I'm trying to swap it with my mate for something. I can't remember what they call it now. Intercity something. I don't know. Ooh, awful. It don't look right. So anyway, shall we get on with the work? Trying to do this train. As I say, I'll divide this up into 2 bits, so that it don't take forever. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, where are we? We'll get the camera in a bit closer, shall we? So you can see what I'm doing. Hang on. Right. There's a cup of tea. That's the one. Getting a bit cold, that. Right. Right. What I haven't got, of course, is my proper glasses. Where did I put them? Can't see what I'm doing without them. Hang on a minute. Got them. Okay, first off, see, glasses, right. We need to take this apart to begin with. Alright, fairly easy to come apart. Right on the very end, just there, you will see a little taggy thing which you need to push in. Okay, push that in and up this end. And that'll come out. So that's your top, cheap plastic. That's your oh, sorry, right. There's your windows. Pretty awful, aren't they? Okay. And there's your inside. There's nothing there. It's completely empty, isn't it? Okay. So let's have a look underneath. Now I'm not going to bother taking off the bogies. I'll leave those on. Okay. What I will take off is this bit here, just so we can get and paint it a bit more easily. And there's a little catch here which you flick down and push. A little catch here which you flick down and push, he says. The other one went easy. There we go. Right, that's that out. Triang plastic. Right, now if we're going to pop a light in here, we have to come up through the floor, through the hole in the floor there with the wires. Okay, that fits on the bottom, so I don't know why they got that hole there. No idea. Anyway, and make a hole in this thing in the middle. Take the wires up through it. Right. So there's not much to it at the moment, is there? It's pretty awful. And it's a bit like those, I don't own any, but I have read that the little small buildings that you get in resin buildings, and some of the plastic kit buildings as well, if you want to light them, then you have to ensure that the plastic is either coated or covered in card or something like that, because it's translucent. If I was to put a light bulb in there, light it up without doing anything to it at all, it'd glow. You'd see the light bulb through the plastic. Okay, it would come through the plastic. It would shine through the roof, so you'd get a light spot on the roof where the light came through. So you need to do something about that. And what I found was that for a start off, we're going to put a floor in it. Okay, so we'll put a cardboard floor in here. All right. What we'll also do is we'll paint the inside of the coach, okay, whatever colour we want, and I'll also paint the outside because it's pretty disgusting. I've tried cleaning these things up with cotton bud and I don't think calling it white spirit, stuff like that, and it just doesn't want to know. So it won't clean. What it will do is it will take the dirt off. So that will be my first job, okay, to clean this up. I can pop it in the sink maybe and give it a scrub with some soapy water. That one might clean some of the rubbish off, wouldn't it? Now the ends could do with something doing to them as well. They look a bit plasticky. So we've got the thing apart. I'm going to go off and give that a wash, and I shall be back in a truss. Yeah, okay, I think we're recording him. Right, let's have a think about this. Camping coaches. At the onset, at the beginning, they were owned and run by the regional railways. So the Southern had theirs, they were green. Great Western, chocolate, etc. And the others, were all different. And they used to park them up. There were usually coaches which were probably unfit for mainline services, sort of come to the end of their lollipop, as it were, and so they needed to do something with them. Later on, they were taken over by private entrepreneurs, as it were, and there are still some that exist today. You can go on holiday in a coach, I think. Yeah, the biggest load I've seen are down at Dawlish Warren. It's kind of like a holiday camp down there, which is got about a dozen of these camping coaches, all parked up. I think they've been refurbished last year or the year before or something or other, and they're open for business again. But of course, when they passed into private hands, if they needed repainting, they were painted in whatever paint they had available at the time, I suppose. Whatever was cheap. So we won't follow too closely the colours of any particular region, because these ones have already passed into the hands of private owners. But I quite like the brown and cream theme, as on this one here. Okay, the brown and cream. Although that's not a true Great Western brown, and that's not a true Great Western cream. That doesn't really matter, because they're in private ownership. So what I'm using is Humbrol paint, acrylic. It's 110, which is actually wood. Okay, so it's wood. So I'm going to paint the bottom half of this side with that. Okay, I've already given it a good wash and a clean up. And I'm going to paint this strip up here as well. Okay. But before we do that, I'm going to paint the cream. Light colours first, okay? And then finish off with your darker colours. Because if you just happen to blip a bit onto your dark, if you know what I mean. If you make a mistake or this, that and the other and you get dark on the light, it's difficult. Well, it's the other way around, you can sort of clean it up a bit, can't you? So we'll go over this with cream. I don't know what the cream is. I think I got it out of Games Workshop, Citadel Colours. But it is an acrylic. I only work with acrylics. So we'll paint the cream first, outside, and then we'll get back to you. Okay. Right, okay, we're starting at this end. I don't know why. I always start on the left, going to the right. I rest my hand on the table here so I can get a steady hand, okay, with a brush. Now, the colour that I'm putting on is slightly lighter than the colour which is already on there. Luckily, I have a fairly steady hand. Don't worry too much about those little vents there, because they'll be dirty anyway, won't they? Okay, so we'll just paint over everything. We'll paint over the hinges, because we'll put those back in afterwards. Okay, we'll go down to the lining line. Okay, with the colour. That one. A little bit too much on the brush there. If you've got too much on your brush, just take it off into an area which you haven't done. Just wipe a lot off. Okay, I'll be doing that one. Go underneath this window. Okay. Oop. And then we'll pick out these little bits here with the brush, and also inside the window. That's filthy. Inside the window here, that's filthy. Inside the window here, and at the top. Okay. Right. So I'm sure you don't want to watch me painting the rest of the coach. It's a bit like watching paint dry. I think the knack is to actually rest your hand. Rest your hand on. I'm resting my thumb on here as well, my little finger on here as well. Okay. So I'm resting it so it doesn't. You get the shakes every now and again, obviously. Well, I do. I used to be a potter, and I used to have to put write things on plates for people. I'll tell you what, you need a steady hand for that. So that's when I learnt that if you support your arm, your hand, whilst you're painting all the time. I've got it out. Wish I could see what I'm doing at the same time as watching the camera. I can't, I'm sorry. See, I'm putting my finger here, that one there, supporting it, my hand, whilst I'm painting. Okay, so we go into that little hole, into that little hole, into that little hole, into that little hole. Right, well, I'll finish off the painting. Okay. Finish off the painting. Always move your brush, of course, in the same direction all the time. Don't try and do noughts and crosses with it, as you'll see that with a paintbrush. Yeah. But I mean, as it's all hand painted, I shouldn't think these people had spraying equipment to spray it with. I think they probably just went over it with a paintbrush, didn't they, when it got a bit dirty. So anyway, we'll follow their example, shall we? Go over it with a paintbrush whilst it's dirty. I'll paint the thing and I'll get back to you for what we're going to do with the inside and perhaps the little finishing touches here. Okay, little nuances. We'll get back in perhaps part 2, which will be later. Part 2. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Enjoy. Bye.